Bernie Sanders tweeting his support for Tulsi Gabbard after Hillary Clinton's suggestion Gabbard is a Russian asset. Sanders saying this: Tulsi Gabbard has put her life on the line to defend this country. People can disagree on issues, but it is outrageous for anyone to suggest that Tulsi is a foreign asset. Let's bring in our panel: Leslie Marshall, progressive radio talk show host and Fox News contributor, and Stephen Hayes, also a Fox News contributor. Good morning to both of you. All right, so Stephen, start us off here. Bernie Sanders taking Hillary Clinton on for making that suggestion.
Yeah, not entirely surprising. Remember, Tulsi Gabbard supported Bernie Sanders in 2016 and resigned her position as a top DNC official in order to do so. So you would expect that Bernie Sanders might swing in behind her on this. What's interesting to me is Hillary Clinton is making these allegations without any evidence to support them. I mean, that's a pretty strong suggestion that someone is a Russian asset. She made the same claim about Jill Stein and then speculated that Republicans were preparing to draft a current Democratic primary opponent, presumably Tulsi Gabbard, to run as a three-way candidate and play the role of spoiler. She didn't make any actual factual statements to back up her allegations, something that you would think journalists might be more interested in getting from her as she continues to sort of make these claims.
Congressman Lee Zeldin, Leslie, joined us earlier on this program, and he made a similar suggestion. Here's Zeldin.
She believes that not just the reason why she lost, but also the legacy of why she lost is due to, in her mind, the Russians changing the outcome of our election. It's important that we note the history of 2016. Tulsi Gabbard did support Bernie Sanders, and there's that resentment too.
So should it be obvious to everyone what's going on here and why Hillary Clinton decided to make this move?
Look, I think she's trying to liken Tulsi Gabbard to Jill Stein. Tulsi Gabbard has said she wouldn't run as an independent, and as a Democrat, I say nobody should give them ideas. What bothers me as a Democrat is that the Democrats are keeping this alive. With all due respect to Tulsi Gabbard, she has less than 2% of the support of the Democratic Party. We as Democrats had a lack of unity, to say the least, in 2016, and that led, I feel, definitely contributed to Donald Trump being elected president. 12% of Bernie Sanders supporters voted for him. So, the fact that Senator Sanders is weighing in for her and supporting her, I get it. But at the same time, it's not like he's trying to get her base away from Elizabeth Warren. It does not help the Democrats to stay on point, not just for their nomination, but also for the general election. So I really wish everyone, all of these players, would move on and move forward.
Well, Stephen, I asked Ed Rendell, the former chairman of the DNC, how he feels about Hillary Clinton getting as involved as she is in presidential politics at this point, and he had this to say.
Hillary's a free agent, just like I'm a free agent, and nobody can tell us what to say or what to do. I would urge her to keep her eye on the prize, and the prize is winning back the presidency, and to do nothing that would distract from that goal.
Do Democrats like her getting as involved as she is, Stephen?
Yeah, I would think they wouldn't. I mean, that's what's curious about this, as Leslie suggests. She's picking a fight with somebody who has less than 2% in the polls and really isn't a threat to win the Democratic nomination at this point. So it is a bit curious. The other thing that I think is odd about Hillary Clinton's attacks here is that there's plenty to criticize about Tulsi Gabbard's arguments. I mean, she has been a staunch defender of the Assad regime, only occasionally criticizing the atrocities committed by that regime. She's also parroted Russian propaganda talking points. Now, that's very different than claiming she might be a Russian asset, but there is a substantive case to be made here that Tulsi Gabbard is making horrible arguments, has been for years, and that in and of itself is disqualifying.
All right. Well, for her part, Tulsi Gabbard says she's more than willing to have a face-to-face meeting with Hillary Clinton, so we'll see where all that goes. Final thoughts, Leslie, running out of time here, but Elizabeth Warren's unveiled yet another big price tag plan, $800 billion towards K-12 education. I'll let our viewers see on the screen there how it's divvied up, but it's a lot of money. How do you pay for it?
Well, that's going to be the question that Democrats ask at the next debate, who want to dethrone her as queen in this race. But among Democrats, it's obviously not hurting her. She keeps getting more and more money for her campaign, and she keeps soaring. And as a matter of fact, we know in some polls neck and neck, and in some actually beating who had been the front runner, Joe Biden.
Leslie Marshall and Stephen Hayes, appreciate both of you this morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandra.
All right.